Good morning, Stampers. I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and you're watching Maker Mornings with Meg. Today's video is kicking off the February series feature, which is the Desert Details stamp set and coordinating dies, the gorgeous designer series paper that matches it, delicate details designer series paper, and this amazing brushstroke paper, which honestly, the first time I looked at it in the catalog, I thought, I don't know about that. But my friend Sandy was really excited about it. And so I was like, okay, I'll look. And oh my gosh, it's beautiful. You can use a little bit, it goes a long way, or you can use a bigger piece like we're gonna use today. And the card layout we're gonna do is a fun fold. It is a card that is fun on the inside and fun on the outside, which is the focus for LovenStamps Monthly Tutorials in February. So when you place any size order in my online store, you get a set of 4 tutorials. There will be a ding, ding, ding bonus, like extra 9 or so tutorials, I think, this month. All featuring the delicate details or Desert Details stamp set. The 4 feature a curated set of supplies. So I have a set of ink pads that all are meant to go together. The sequins from this set, which have these fun, you see those fun teardrop shape ones. So they're a little bit different, gold faceted gems. And then of course the papers that I showed you, the stamps and the dies. So you know that if you have those supplies, you'll be able to make all 4 of the fun cards I'm gonna show you. And you'll have the cutting and so forth directions for making those as my thank you for your order. So link is in the video description as always. With that, let us get started and make a card. Let's see, what did I do here? There we go. All right, we're gonna make a card. So our pieces here, like I said, feature these 4 colors. So gray granite, petal pink, Cajun craze, and soft succulent for this month. The dies, if you order at least $50, you'll get a set of 2 cards as card kits to go, LovenStamps card kits to go, and your die cuts will be pre-done for you. But to make the cards, as they're presented, you're gonna want the dies to go with it, and then of course you'll need your stamp sets. So let's go ahead. We're not gonna use succulent today, it'll be in a future one, but let's get started with our cards. So, our card. I have a piece of cardstock here. It is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches long. You're gonna score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, fold in the center, and fold the front back. So we have our Z fold here, all right? So one of the benefits is that when you open this card, you see the front while you have the card open. You'll see how it works. I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. They are both cut to 4 inches tall. One is a little bit wider here because I want it to go past the midline, and the other is narrower, 2 1/2 to fit on this panel. So let's go ahead and pop these on. Sometimes I would consider using Seal Plus on this panel because we're gonna have a panel that moves attached to it, but I think we'll be okay. And I'm gonna hold off on attaching this one, okay? 2 reasons for that. One, we have a piece of 4 inches tall basic white cardstock that's gonna fit inside here, and I want to overlap so that you can kind of see how our card is kind of shaping up here. So we have this fun. If you want, you can cut this continuous and then chop it. The design's pretty subtle, so it's not gonna matter too much by the time we've got stuff on that it's not continuous. But included in the die set is this fabulous little feature die. And there are a number of great feature dies in this stamp set. The windows, we're gonna use one today. This ikat kind of element. There are just some really pretty dies in here. So this is one of them. And this die does really well to let you see through a layer onto a layer behind. So we're gonna take this die. I'm going to pop it on here. You'll see my washi tape on there because it always just makes it easy for me to keep my dies positioned where I want them. We're going to die cut this, and through the magic of television, I have it here. You can see how that works. So now when I layer this on here, it's going to show our petal pink card stock in the background as just an extra little subtle element. Isn't that pretty? I know. All right, so what are we gonna put inside our card? We are going to use this border here, this blanket border, and I have that. You're gonna want a longer block for this. The eye is a good choice. And I'm gonna go ahead and ink up my gray granite and ink probably just the end of this. I don't need all of it to be inked, so I'll just ink this portion, and then I think I have, yeah, here a little piece of scrap paper that I can put on the end, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. Oh, sorry guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way because I'm gonna stamp kind of across. Did I get it inked enough? I don't think I did. All right, ink more than you think is the answer here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and line that up and stamp. Be careful not to rock your block like this way because you don't want to catch an edge on your border, okay? So there is our border. And now we can go ahead and attach this inside our card. And then we can add our cut designer series paper. So I'm gonna line this up. When I'm lining this up, I'm looking at the top and the bottom and the sides to make sure that my margins are all the same. So usually I kind of hold it in my hand and get it close. The other thing is I don't, this is maybe hard to show, but when I do my applying, my hand is down on the table. So when I'm like moving, I'm not also moving like up and down. It gives me a little more control. So this hand is attached to the table when I stick this layer down. So then it's a little bit easier to get that cardstock exactly where I want it, okay? All right, so now we have the base of our card done, and we're gonna add the magic next. And for the magic, we have this gorgeous stamp here. This is the beautiful desert floral here. And then we're gonna use the, let's see, greeting here. You are what sunshine feels like, which I just think is a sweet thing to say. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our, let's see, my basic white cardstock piece someplace. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp the flower here. And I'm gonna do this in Petal Pink, which is very, very light color, but oh, so pretty. With a light color, you wanna think about getting your reinkers in case you need to reink so that you get a really nice image. There we go. As with all of the Stampin' Up colors, you can get ink refills for the ink pads that we have, which means your pad will last you a long time. So with that in mind, during celebration, this is a great time to get some of those things, ink refills and so forth, some of those basic stamping supplies so that you have them when you want them. So the pieces will be, the colors will be retiring for certain are the in colors, so don't miss your chance to get those. And those will be while supplies last as soon as those that retiring list comes out sometime probably in early April. All right, so I'm gonna stick a piece of washi tape on there so that I've got my piece here ready to die cut. And then the other thing I want to die cut is a piece of the dry brush paper. So let's look at this paper for a second. It is gorgeous. It's got this gold foil and it has on the background this sort of Calypso coral colored impression here. So it's really pretty either direction. But I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the frames from our set. There are 2 frames in here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one to give us a panel. Of course, you would die cut it this way to give us a panel of this paper to use for our card front. And you can see on the die, it has both a cut line here toward the outside edge and a stitch line here towards the inside, which means it's gonna give us some really pretty extra detail. And of course, through the magic of television, I have that die cut here and I have our flower also die cut. All right, so you can see how beautifully those two go together and you can see that fun stitch line here along the edge of our frame. So how is that gonna go on our card? Well, we are going to go ahead and fold this shut. We're going to add our panel here like so. And then we're going to add our flower, all right? And I love to overlap sort of the outside edge here for this kind of card layout because it helps sort of create that motion, that idea that there's gonna be more inside our card. So let's go ahead and attach this. The first thing I'm gonna do is grab an edge piece from our Stampin' Dimensionals. I've been like on a kick here to have you guys use these. And I think there's probably room here we can use this whole pick. Now, this conveniently has a line marked on it. I think I made it a little too long. There we go. it conveniently has a center line marked on it. You really don't want to go past the center line because you don't want to seal your card shut by getting adhesive out here. So let's go ahead and flip that over, get that here, and then we're gonna add this to our card with that at the center point, okay? All right. Okay, so there is our card, and this is where you can see what I was talking about. You can see the front of your card when your card is open. So let's look at adding our flower here. We need a greeting, so I'm gonna bring in this piece of basic white cardstock, and we're gonna use a little stronger. I want the color to sort of bring out the richness of the colors in our paper. So I'm gonna grab Cajun Craze, which is a gorgeous deserty kind of tone, and this stamp here that says, "You are what sunshine feels like." We're gonna stamp that kind of off to the side, and we're gonna pop this on here with our flower like that, okay? Now I feel like this is a little bit stronger here. It covers up a little more of our paper than I want. So I'm gonna bring in my paper trimmer, which is hands down the best tool for trimming little edges of stuff. You could use your scissors. Sometimes I have a hard time getting them straight. If you're good at that, then go for it. It is not my talent. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this here and just trim the edges of our paper, okay? So you are what sunshine feels like. And then that gives us an element to pop here on the front of our card. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put dimensionals behind this. And I'm going to put dimensionals behind our flower. And this is a card really that comes together pretty quickly here. So happy pre-Friday to you. All right. I'm gonna pop my dimensionals on this paper instead of on the back because I want them to make sure that they're not like getting weirdly, like, you know, if you stack Legos and you have too many Legos on this side and not enough on this side, then your pieces are wonky. So we're gonna go ahead and stack these dimensionals here so that they're not popping up too much over here. All right, and then I'm gonna pop my flower on like that, overlapping the edge, so that gives us some extra interest. And then this is kind of crooked, so I'm gonna turn that. And then I'm gonna add some bling to this. So I know that we have some great bling in the background here with our dry brush paper, but these are hard to resist, these gold faceted adhesive sequins, and they're included in the suite if you get the suite collection for this. So I'm gonna pop this open here, and I'm gonna grab one of these teardrop shapes, which I just think are so much fun. And they're almost like little pointers. So I'm gonna point to our greeting, but highlight our flowers. So that's going to sit there as an accent. So there is our first card with our little accent there of the sweet features, the LovenStamps Monthly Tutorials for the Desert Details and the Delicate Desert Suite. All right, so I have 4 projects to share with you this month that feature these supplies, like I said. Oh, I have a bonus one that's very similar to this. It's not a Z-fold card. It takes sort of the same elements and makes them a more traditional fold. It's a flat card. Oh, you know what? I have another piece I wanted to add to this. Remember that piece that I said I loved, this little element right here? I have one cut here from Cajun Craze cardstock, which matches our greeting. There we go. And brings this color in, and I'm gonna add this down here to just sort of strengthen this corner when the card is open. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go crazy and use a Stampin' Dimensional inside my card, I know. Because what I said for this month of the LovenStamps tutorials is that we're featuring cards that are interesting inside and out. So that will be kind of a fun set of cards to add to your stamping toolbox for different ideas. All right, and there you can just see that peeking out. Okay. I have another version of this card to show you that uses similar elements. Here it is. This one uses a different designer series paper in the background. The flowers placed differently, and it has a few more of those elements. The little accent ikat is there, and then it has a full stamped element on the inside. So instead of having our Z-fold like this, it's more of a traditional front where just the front half of the card is just chopped off so you can see inside the card. So lots of different possibilities for just this layout even. So I have some other cards to share with you. Here, I'll give you a sneak peek. We're gonna do this one with a tunnel fold inside And we're going to do this one, which has a pretty stamped interior, some tips for that. And we will be doing this card, which is a great pocket card, a DSP pocket card with a little card inside. So lots of fun things for this month. So anyway, if you guys have any questions at all, I would be happy to answer them. Just send me a message, let me know. And again, link is in the video description for this, and you can learn more about LovenStamps Monthly Tutorials on my website at LovenStamps.com. Under Join the Club, there's a heading there. So thanks guys for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday with another Maker Mornings with Meg video. Happy stamping to you. Enjoy your weekend. Happy pre-Friday. And I hope you have time to get some crafting into your schedule. So happy stamping, guys. Take care.